Welcome back to FanFiction 101. This is going to be our last video in the series and is about writing fanfiction. The first rule to writing fanfiction is that there's no wrong way to write fanfiction. If you like to write and you care enough about the story to put in the time, then do it. That being said, here are some tips for people who want some help getting started. First, familiarize yourself with the fandom. Before you write something, read some of the fanworks in the fandom. You also might want to notice the conventions of the site, such as how people tag, rate, format, or describe their fics. You don't have to go all the way down the rabbit hole, but if you can figure out how to tag your story and make it your own, then you're more likely to get attention and less likely to accidentally upset someone. Next, you'll need to choose a topic. In general, and especially with fanfic, it's best to write a story that you want to read. Write about the character you think is underutilized, or the relationship that you think could be more. Write about what you care about. Short of that, if you want to write but don't know where to start, you can ask people for prompts. These sometimes appear on other social media sites, or you can ask for them in the notes or comments of your other works. Next is the hard part, actually writing. Don't try and force it. If every word is a slog and you're getting frustrated, then just try again later. It's not a homework assignment, and often the best writing comes with the least amount of effort. It's also okay to just go piece by piece whenever you feel inspired. That being said, you should also keep in mind that first drafts are really technical masterpieces. It's okay and usually necessary to get the story down first and then polish it later. Once you have your story written, or at least mapped out, you should edit it as best as you can. This usually requires multiple read-throughs. It's harder to catch obvious grammar and spelling mistakes or plot holes in your own work because you already know what you're trying to say. To fix this, writers will often get a beta. Betas are a second set of eyes on your work before you publish it for all to see. If you want a beta for your story, you can ask in the notes, message people, or if you're comfortable, you can ask someone you're already close to. At the end of the day, if your writing is just okay, or maybe not even that, it's not the end of the world. By posting it, you're not forcing anyone to read it or asking them to pay. You're just putting it out there. Tastes differ, and even if you think it's mediocre, there's still a chance that someone out there is going to love it. Which brings us to posting. Before you post, make sure you understand the conventions and possible coding needed on the site. For instance, AO3 uses HTML, which is a very basic code in order to add things like paragraphs, italics, and bold print. If your layout is hard to read, not as many people are going to stick it out. When in doubt, try to make it look like other fics on the site. If you're writing a multi-chapter or a multi-part fic, then you might want to think about a posting schedule. It's nice if readers have an idea when or if the next chapter is coming out. That way, you're more likely to retain your audience. If you're worried about negative comments, there are a couple of things that you can do. The first is to warn people about objectionable material like character death in the tags. Be as descriptive of the work as possible. If you're still worried about negative comments, AO3 does let you turn off the comments on your work. However, that also means you can't get good comments, which are nice. If you do get negative comments, try not to be defensive and just ignore the comments that aren't constructive. But honestly, most people on fanfic sites are very positive and encouraging. After you post your story, try to keep in mind that if you're posting to a large fandom, you're more likely to get a lot of hits quickly and then get lost in the shuffle. In a smaller fandom, you won't get as many hits, but your work is more likely to stand out over time. If you're looking for ways to boost your work, try engaging with the fandom or the community on the site. Respond to the comments or reviews that people leave on your work. Talk to people or ask questions in the notes. You can try and promote your story on social media or post it on multiple sites to reach a wider audience. Maybe a ton of people read your story, maybe only a few, but the key to fanfic is to write what you want and have fun while you're doing it. That's about it for our beginner's tips. Thanks for watching. If you missed the other videos in this series, you can find them on our YouTube channel. We hope these were helpful to you, and good luck out there.